Alright, g'day guys again, James Bartolo. Alright, so we're going to get a little bit sciencey right now. I'm going to try and make it as simple as possible and keep it, I'm going to go slowly, alright? So, what we're going to be talking about now is carbohydrates and the bucket principle. Okay, so many people don't actually even know what a carbohydrate is. Carbohydrate, basically, when it goes into the body, it gets broken down into glucose, and glucose is sugar. So carbohydrates are basically just sugar. Sugar is typically what makes you fat. Okay? So, what foods are carbohydrates, you may ask? Here, you have bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, wraps, all that kind of stuff is carbohydrates. Okay? So whenever you eat this, you consume it. It goes into the body as carbohydrates, gets broken down into glucose, and then if you're not using that energy, because sugar, glucose, the primary reason of it existing is for energy. So people use it for energy, okay? But if you're not actually using it for energy, then the glucose will be stored as body fat, okay? So look at it as a bucket. Your muscles and your liver are the bucket, okay? And the water is the glucose. So when glucose carbohydrates go into your body, it gets stored in a form called glycogen. So glucose in its stored form in the body, in the muscles and the liver, is called glycogen, okay? But when that bucket is already full, it's full of water, your muscles and liver are full of glycogen because it's just stored energy. And if you're not actually burning and using that energy, if you're not tipping the bucket out every now and again, then it's full. And what happens if you've got a full bucket of water and you keep on pouring more water into the full bucket? Well, it's going to overflow. It's going to spill out over. And the bucket's full. It's just going to go over. This is like your body. When your muscles and your liver stores are full of glycogen, it could be because you haven't actually been burning that energy out. You haven't needed it. You know, going for a walk isn't going to burn that glycogen. You know, if you're doing hardcore weightlifting, you're doing some cardio, proper actual training, physical exercise, not even just a physical job, proper hardcore physical exercise to acquire the demand of that quick energy, of that glucose, that glycogen. If you're not doing that, bucket's full, you eat another slice of bread, boom, the bucket, it's like pouring more water in, it spills over, and instead of it being water out of a bucket, it goes into your fat cells, okay? Because it's got nowhere else to go. It can go back in the bloodstream, it's not being required, it's not going to be burnt for energy. Muscles are full, it's not needed, goes into fat cells to be stored for later use, okay? So that is, in a nutshell, what happens with carbohydrates in your body when you're not burning it, okay? Burning it and having a proper exercise regime, completely different. But if you're sedentary, the reason why you've got to the point where you have now is from excessive carbohydrate consumption. That is the primary reason. You got the bucket, you just keep on filling it. Keep on filling it, okay? That's why you need to do that insulin reset. We've got a lot of things to fix up here, okay? But that's enough for that. That is the bucket principle. Hope that's clear and it makes sense.